So let us now continue on and take a look at some of this tire mark evidence. Here we see a difference. It's sunny today, so we have some shade and we have some sun, and this is always a difficulty for reconstructionists when they're taking photos or observations in sunny periods, that the sun tends to whitewash some of the evidence, and you can't see it very well. You'd want to come on a cloudy day, or you'd want to also come at near sunset or sunrise, and that is when you can best observe the evidence. But in any case, and it also rained, so we have this difficulty: sun, and then plus it rained over the. Good day.
Investigating that accident.
Yeah.
I was the first one here yesterday when it happened.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I have a video camera running, but I'm not gonna point it at you. How's that? Well, you were coming the same direction you are now?
This way, yeah. I came on about 45 seconds after it happened.
Oh, really? Yeah. So the truck was basically lying in the middle of the road there, and yeah. You saw.
I can show you exactly how it was sitting if you want.
Sorry?
I can show you exactly how it was sitting.
For me, it's not that necessary. It's kind of sitting like pointing
facing
toward,
that way.
Yeah.
On this kind of angle.
On that kind of angle, you're kind of showing me with your hand, kind of almost not quite perpendicular. And I suppose the unfortunate passenger might have been underneath the vehicle, perhaps.
He was away from the vehicle about 15 feet.
He wasn't underneath
this
it.
Side of the vehicle,
no. Sometimes they kind of get trapped underneath as they roll.
From it. I was surprised.
Yeah. Well,
that's a good 10, 15 feet, I would say.
That's unfortunate. So there's not. I suppose you were coming down this way and you just kind of pulled over and.
The other kids were already halfway up the hill from the other pickup trucks.
Oh yeah.
They told me it happened, so I drove right down to almost where the truck was.
Yeah.
Started trying to help that kid, but
these
the fire and OPP were here fairly quick.
These people in the other pickup trucks were friends of theirs.
I think so.
You think so? They kind of looked like it.
Yeah, they had all made their way up to the house at one point on the left.
Yeah, over to that house. That's probably the closest to get to, right? Well, it's just maybe an unfortunate thing that I expect that maybe a little bit of youth and speed and inexperience coming over a gravel road like this is often common.
Recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, eh? Wear your seatbelt tight.
It's never off.
Okay, so here we are about 125 meters from the point of impact. And as I indicated, there are those tire marks over here on the west roadside. And you can't really see anything, closer to me, I don't think. I certainly can't. But obviously all this stuff has been washed away by the rain and the traffic and so on. But I certainly can see the tire marks maybe 10 or so meters closer to me than that nearest cone, but that's about as far as I would go. It basically went all the way across to the opposite side of the road here. And now you should be able to pick up some of those tire marks as we get closer. Certainly you can see two. What you should see is the nearest cone here to us. You should see one of the tire marks just to the right of that cone. And then you should see a second tire mark just a little bit further to the right. So we got two of them. So we certainly have, I would say, they're already into a yaw. I don't know how well you can see from this video, but there's also another tire mark kind of more in the middle of the road once we get beyond these cones. So anyways, this vehicle is rotating at this point at roughly 100 meters. Definitely it's at 100 meters. Who knows what it was doing before. And now it's basically going toward the tree in the background. Right about in here, I'm just pointing with one of the cameras. I'm just going to show you where this other tire mark is. Let me just stand there for a second. Right about in here is right between my feet is where that tire mark is. We're just going to follow now from the 75-meter location. We're now walking along the path of this loss of control vehicle, which I suggest to you is rotating clockwise and is starting to lead with its left side, but I believe the driver then counter steers right about in this area and probably brings the vehicle around so that the front is over to the west, and it's now rotating counterclockwise. That is most likely because of what I see down in the east shoulder here. What I see is some more tire marks as we get down into this grass, and I see two of them at least. And what you should be able to see is certainly we have one tire mark here where I'm standing with one foot, and one tire mark down here in the ditch. So we got two tire marks, and I suggest to you those are now going to be the right side tire marks. And this would probably be the right rear, and this is likely the right front over with where my other foot is. So the driver is attempting to gain control. The vehicle now starts rotating counterclockwise. Why I say that is because there's no evidence of this vehicle going down into the grass area. If you take a look at the grass, it's staying upright. Nothing has gone down into that grass. And then you can see here, you can see my small cone here is at 25 meters from the point of impact at the tree, and the larger cone down in the grass represents where the tire mark ends abruptly. So all of a sudden, the tire mark ends. So what happens? The vehicle must be airborne. Probably about 23 meters from the tree is when this vehicle becomes airborne. And, you know, because of the rain and so on, it's a little more difficult to catch some of the evidence of rollover, because certainly the vehicle did roll over right here where I'm standing, because the tire mark over there ends. I'm standing here where this vehicle likely began to roll. But you kind of go, well, where's all this rollover evidence? And if you look at the gravel here, it doesn't really appear obvious. Well, there is actually a little scar here. Okay, right about in here, there's a scar. You know, that's unnatural. But the rain has simply gotten rid of the details of that scar. The other thing is, if you kind of look just in this area here, you can kind of see some changes in the gravel. And let me bring the other camera over. This is how we can kind of figure out what has happened. Is when you look down here, this gravel does not look natural. You see kind of a blotch kind of where my hand is here. You know, you can see the outline of the gravel here, but then there is no gravel kind of in this area. There's something here that happened. And I suggest the details of the evidence have been washed out by the rain. And same thing over here, a second blotch right about in here. Again, the gravel is removed, the surface gravel, and there's just a little circular area in there. Why else we think that there's a rollover here is because there's little bits of, small bits of chips of red paint in here. You know, right in here. Just small bits of red paint. And that just doesn't happen. I mean, a vehicle traveling north hits the tree, and the debris doesn't come bouncing back 23 meters or 20 meters or whatever. It doesn't happen. The other thing is that we also see some orange lens material in this area as well. You got to remember, although there appears to be a fair bit of traffic here, there really isn't. And so you shouldn't really see too much stuff lying around here from any kind of accidents. But again, here you see, you know, lens material, and again some more glass and so on. This is amber material, so again it's from the front end of the vehicle, and this is all before the vehicle has hit the tree. So we have a rollover here that's maybe commenced about 23 meters from the actual point of impact.